How you doing? My name is Travis Middleton, and thank you for checking out my channel on how to stop a debt collector cold in their tracks. Okay, so I'm not going to waste your time and go through all this stuff about these vague concepts. I'm going to give you this hard-hitting, straight between the eye information that you need to stop these collecting agencies cold in their tracks right now. I don't mean 6 months from now. I mean right now. I've got 15 years of research that goes into my book on debt collection and how to stop a debt collector. So I have some court experience also with using the same principles. So I'm going to first tell you the basis of why my procedures are so effective. First thing is, I was taught by attorneys on how to do research. I was taught how to set up a civil case before you go into court as plaintiff. So what I try to do is set up a paper trail to be able to document my encounters with debt collectors so that should they continue to harass me, I have a means in court to go reign and wreak havoc on them. So I wrote this book with that in mind to teach you how to effectively stop them from harassing you by phone calls and letters. And it's all based upon what if they don't stop? What if I have to take them to court? Well, this is your prelude to understanding that piece. And that's why it's so effective. I have helped over the last 15 years several of my friends and colleagues who are having debt collection agency problems. So I decided to write a book to help more people that who won't meet me personally. So that's you. So what you're going to learn from me is in my book, you're going to learn what to say over the phone when they call you. You're going to learn what to write in your letters to have them cease and desist. I'm going to teach you the whys of what your rights are so that you'll have a good handle on why they can't call you and why they can't write you letters. You see, your rights as a consumer within this body of law are grounded in two principles. One, under the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, your right of privacy. We all have a right of privacy, okay? And we have a right to be let alone. So that's the first thing. The second thing is it's under contract law. You don't have a binding nexus or contract with a debt collector. That's a third party parrot, if you will, that a lender or bank or some other creditor had hired to see if they can harass you for the money. Well, under consumer law and constitutional law, you're only allowed to deal with the entity that you have a contract with. That is not a third party debt collector. And I know that, and I teach that principle, and it was taught to me years ago. So on that basis, I have set up all of my correspondence by phone and by letter writing to address those core issues of privacy and contract. That's really what it boils down to. So under the Fourth Amendment, you have what's called in consumer law, you have something called the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act under Title 15, Section 1692 et sec. Within that body of law, those are rules of what a debt collector can and cannot do with respect to a consumer in collecting a debt. These rules also apply to attorneys when they're in the commission of collecting a debt. Okay? And they are subject to the same liability as any other body a person is. So I want you to see this as a personal thing when you begin to deal with these agencies. I want you to turn the tables on them and become the attacker and the aggressor to see how easy this is. So whomever calls you, whoever you speak with, you can sue that individual along with their agency for your violations. So the way I do it is I get the person's name and I inform them this phone call is being recorded for my protection and further use. And I want your full name so I can use that in my litigation. So that's what this whole thing is set up for. Because if things go sideways and they don't stop, I am going to sue them like I've done in the past and win. I have helped a client with a student loan debt that was valued at $110,000. It went away. I have dealt with clients who've had credit card bills of $30,000. They went away. I have helped clients with hospital bills that went into default that went away. All because I used those same mechanisms in my book that I will show you, that you'll learn how to make the law work for you. You don't have to be an attorney for the law to work for you. You just need the right information. So in my book, I'm going to give you the right information. Okay, so this is based upon Fourth Amendment privacy law and consumer law on the contract law. Okay, now because I know what this is about, now that you know a third-party debt collector has no authority to contact you by phone or by letter, it's a breach of your privacy and a violation of consumer law on the contract premise. You have no binding nexus or contract with that entity. So when they contact you after you send a notice of cease and desist, and after you give a verbal phone call of cease and desist, then it becomes a violation of mail fraud under 18 U.S.C. 1341. It also becomes a violation of RICO under 18 U.S.C. 1961 and 1962. And it also becomes a violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act under Title 15, Section 1692. So those are the kind of things I raise in my correspondence back to a debt collector, and they stop immediately. So you owe it to yourself to get my book. You owe it to yourself to learn what your rights really are, so that you can stop a debt collector in their tracks and watch them die. Thank you for watching. Follow the link below and release yourself from being harassed by another debt collector as long as you live. Thank you.